My dear friends, the time has come for you to open your eyes to the world around you. There is a great deception that has crept into the hearts of many. A deception that tells you that being kind to all people at all times without discernment is the highest virtue. But I say to you today, do not let the world take advantage of your goodness. Do not let people mistake your kindness for weakness. The year 2025 is not a time for blind niceness. It is a time for strength, for wisdom, for standing firm in what is right. Too often you have been told that to be a good person, you must always say yes. You must always be accommodating. You must always turn the other cheek. But I ask you, what has that kindness brought you? Have people respected you for it? Or have they used you, taken advantage of you, drained you until there was nothing left? There is a great danger in being too nice, a danger that leaves you empty, exhausted, and taken for granted. If you do not set boundaries, if you do not stand up for yourself, if you do not speak the truth when necessary, then you are not truly living as you are meant to live. The world today is full of people who will take and never give back. You have seen it in your own life. You have helped friends who never helped you in return. You have supported family members who only called you when they needed something. You have given love to those who did not love you back. And what did you receive? A thank you, a token of appreciation. Or did they simply move on to the next person they could use? My dear friends, this is not how life was meant to be. You were not created to be walked on, to be used, to be discarded. You were created for a higher purpose. There comes a time when you must say no. There comes a time when you must stand firm and refuse to be manipulated. Being a good person does not mean being a weak person. Being kind does not mean being blind. You can still have love in your heart. You can still care for others, but you must also care for yourself. You must protect your time, your energy, your spirit. There are those who will drain you if you let them, those who will take advantage of your kindness until there is nothing left of you. You must not allow it. Too many people today are trapped in relationships that bring them nothing but pain. They are giving and giving, but they receive nothing in return. They fear that if they stop being nice, they will lose those around them. But listen to me today, if someone only stays in your life because of what you can give them, then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. True relationships are built on mutual respect, not on one person giving everything while the other takes. Some of you have been nice to the point of exhaustion. You have said yes when you wanted to say no. You have kept silent when you should have spoken. You have allowed yourself to be treated unfairly because you did not want to upset anyone. But what has this niceness done for you? Has it brought you peace? Or has it brought you stress, anxiety, and a heavy heart? There is a price to pay for being too nice, and that price is your own well-being. You must learn to stand up for yourself. You must learn to walk away from those who do not appreciate you. You must learn to say no without guilt. The year 2025 is not a time for being too nice. It is a time for strength. If you do not respect yourself, how can you expect others to respect you? If you do not value your own time, how can you expect others to value it? The way you allow others to treat you is the way they will continue to treat you. Some of you have been afraid to set boundaries because you fear losing people, but let me tell you something. The people who truly care about you will not leave just because you say no. The people who truly respect you will not be offended when you stand up for yourself. But those who are only there to use you, to take from you, those people will walk away. And that is a blessing. Let them go. Let them leave. If they only wanted to because of what they could get from you, then you are better off without them. You were not created to be a doormat. You were not created to live in fear of upsetting others. You were created to live with purpose, with confidence, with strength. Some of you have been too nice at work, letting your boss overwork you while others do less. Some of you have been too nice in friendships, always being the one to reach out, to listen, to give, while the other person never does the same. Some of you have been too nice in relationships, accepting mistreatment because you didn't want to make waves. But my dear friends, the time for that is over. In 2025, you must take back your power. You must learn to say no without apology. You must learn to protect your peace. You must learn that your worth is not measured by how much you give to others, but by how much you honor yourself. The world will not reward you for being too nice. It will only take advantage of you. The world does not give trophies for self-sacrifice. It only gives more burdens to those who do not stand up for themselves. I tell you this not to make you hard-hearted, but to make you wise. Be kind, but do not be foolish. Help others, but do not let them use you. Give, but not at the cost of your own well-being. Love, but do not let that love blind you to the truth. Some people will never appreciate what you do for them, no matter how much you give. Some people will never change, no matter how much you help. And some people will leave the moment you stop being useful to them. Let them go. Your time is precious. Your energy is valuable. Your heart deserves to be protected. If you have spent years being too nice, it is time to change. It's time to be strong. It is time to demand respect. It is time to stop letting the wrong people take advantage of your kindness. Because at the end of the day, if you do not stand up for yourself, who will? If you do not value yourself, who will? If you do not protect your own heart, who will? There is nothing wrong with being kind, but there is something wrong with allowing yourself to be mistreated. There is nothing wrong with helping others, but there is something wrong with letting others drain you. There is nothing wrong with giving, but there is something wrong with giving to those who only take. My dear friends, the time for being too nice is over. In 2025, you must rise up. You must walk with confidence. You must set boundaries and enforce them. You must stop apologizing for protecting your peace. You must stop fearing what others think of you when you stand up for yourself, because those who love you will support you, and those who only wanted to use you will walk away. Let them go. Let them leave. And step into the life of strength and self-respect that you were always meant to have. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's essential. Many people struggle with the idea of drawing lines in their personal and professional lives because they fear it will make them appear unkind or uncaring. But the truth is, without boundaries, life becomes overwhelming, relationships become unbalanced, and personal well-being is compromised. Boundaries are a necessity, not a luxury, and those who fail to set them often find themselves exhausted, overextended, and deeply unsatisfied. There is a common belief that being a good person means always being available, always saying yes, and always putting others first. This belief is not only misguided, but it is also dangerous. It leads to resentment, burnout, and loss of identity. A person who never sets boundaries becomes a person who is constantly pulled in different directions with no control over their own time, energy, or emotions. The reality is that people who respect themselves set limits. They understand that their resources are not infinite, and they recognize that constantly giving without replenishing leads to a life of frustration and fatigue. When you set boundaries, you are not pushing people away. You are simply defining the terms of how you wish to be treated. Without these definitions, others will assume that your time and energy are freely available to them at all times. The problem with this is that people will take as much as you allow them to take. They will continue to ask, to expect, to demand, because you have shown them that there is no limit to what you are willing to give. It is not their fault, nor is it always done with bad intentions. People naturally move toward what is convenient for them, and if you make yourself endlessly available, they will take advantage of it. Not necessarily out of malice, but out of habit. By setting boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You establish what is acceptable and what is not. You make it clear that while you are willing to help, you are not willing to be taken for granted. One of the greatest challenges people face when trying to establish boundaries is the fear of disappointing others. The idea of saying no makes them anxious because they have been conditioned to believe that denying a request is equivalent to rejecting the person making it. But saying no is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-respect. There will always be those who expect you to bend to their needs, but their expectations are not your responsibility. You are not obligated to meet every demand placed upon you, and you are certainly not required to sacrifice your own well-being to keep others happy. Many people who struggle with setting boundaries were raised to believe that their worth is tied to their ability to serve others. They have been told that a good person never says no, never puts themselves first, and never inconveniences others by asserting their own needs. This mindset is damaging as it creates individuals who give endlessly but receive little in return. It creates individuals who feel guilty for prioritizing themselves even when they are suffering. It creates individuals who mistake exhaustion for virtue and self-neglect for righteousness. The truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you do not take care of yourself, you will have nothing left to give. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about maintaining a balance that allows you to give from a place of strength, not depletion. Consider the person who never says no at work. They take on extra tasks, they stay late, they help others with their assignments, and they never complain. At first, this behavior is praised. They are seen dedicated, hardworking, and reliable. But over time, this expectation grows. The moment they try to set a boundary, to decline extra work, to leave on time, they are met with resistance. People question their dedication. They ask why they are suddenly unwilling to go the extra mile. They react as if the individual is doing something wrong, when in reality they are simply trying to reclaim the balance they should have had all along. This is what happens when you allow others to believe that your availability is unlimited. They grow accustomed to it, and they do not take kindly to change. But that does not mean you should continue to allow it. Boundaries also play a crucial role in relationships. Many people find themselves in one-sided friendships and romantic relationships where they give far more than they receive. They listen, they support, they invest, but the other person does not do the same in return. Over time, this imbalance creates resentment. The person who is always giving begins to feel unappreciated and unimportant. They begin to wonder why they are the only one making an effort. But the truth is, they allowed this dynamic to develop by failing to set boundaries from the beginning. If you never communicate your expectations, if you never let people know what you need from them, they will assume that you require nothing. And if they can take without giving, they will. Not necessarily out of malice, but because they have been given no reason to act differently. Some people will resist your boundaries. They will push back. They will test them. They will try to guilt you into abandoning them. They will say you have changed. They will call you selfish. They will accuse you of being unkind. But these reactions are not a reflection of your actions. They are a reflection of their entitlement. People who genuinely care about you will respect your boundaries. They may be surprised at first, but they will adjust. They will understand that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, not on one person sacrificing themselves for the other. It is important to remember that setting boundaries does not mean being rude or aggressive. It does not mean shutting people out or refusing to help. It simply means recognizing your own limits and enforcing them. It means understanding that you cannot be everything to everyone. It means knowing that your value is not determined by how much you give, but by how much you honor yourself. It means understanding that you are not responsible for managing other people's expectations, only your own well-being. Boundaries are a form of self-care. They allow you to protect your time, your energy, and they allow you to focus on what truly matters without being constantly drained by unnecessary obligations. They allow you to build relationships that are based on mutual respect rather than convenience. They allow you to live a life that feels fulfilling rather than exhausting. The moment you start setting boundaries, you will begin to see who truly values you. Some people will walk away, and that is okay. If someone only wants to be in your life because of what they can take from you, then they were never meant to stay. The people who genuinely care about you will understand and respect your limits. They will not guilt you, manipulate you, or try to make you feel bad for asserting yourself. They will appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. There is nothing selfish about protecting your well-being. There is nothing selfish about prioritizing your own needs. There is nothing selfish about refusing to be taken advantage of. The only thing that is truly selfish is expecting someone to give endlessly without receiving anything in return. Boundaries are not about being selfish. They are about ensuring that you do not lose yourself in the process of trying to please everyone else. The world rewards strength, not blind niceness. Many people believe that being nice will open doors for them, that if they are always agreeable, always accommodating, always putting others before themselves, the world will return the favor. They are taught from a young age that kindness is a virtue, that saying yes to others is the key to acceptance, that self-sacrifice is noble and admirable. But as they grow older, they begin to realize that the world does not operate this way. They see people who are strong, who are decisive, who stand their ground, who demand respect, getting ahead, while those who are simply nice are overlooked, undervalued, and taken for granted. They begin to understand that blind niceness does not lead to success, that it does not command respect, that it does not secure opportunities. Strength, on the other hand, is what truly makes a difference. Blind niceness is often mistaken for weakness. When you are overly nice, when you never push back, when you always prioritize the needs of others above your own, people begin to assume that you are someone they can take advantage of. They see that you never say no, that you never stand up for yourself, that you will always be there regardless of how they treat you, and they start to push the boundaries. They ask for more and more, knowing that you will not refuse. They begin to see your kindness not as a virtue, but as an open invitation to exploit you. People respect those who have the strength to stand their ground, not those who bend to every request, every demand, every expectation. There is a difference between being kind and being weak. True kindness comes from a place of strength, from knowing your worth, from understanding when to give and when to withhold. It is not about pleasing everyone at your own expense. It is about offering kindness when it is deserved, when it is reciprocated, when it is appreciated. Blind niceness, on the other hand, is often rooted in fear, the fear of rejection, the fear of conflict, the fear of being disliked. It is the habit of saying yes when you mean no, of putting others' happiness above your own, of allowing yourself to be treated as an afterthought because you are too afraid to demand better. But fear does not command respect, and it does not lead to success. The world does not reward those who live in fear. It rewards those who move with confidence, with purpose, with unwavering strength. When you are too nice, you find yourself constantly drained, constantly giving, constantly bending to the will of others. You begin to wonder why people do not value you, why they do not appreciate all that you do for them. But people do not value what is freely given without expectation, without standards, without limits. They do not respect what is always available, what is always agreeable, what never challenges them. They respect those who set boundaries, who make their worth known, who do not tolerate disrespect. They respect those who are willing to walk away when they are not treated with the dignity they deserve. Blind niceness makes you disposable in the eyes of the world, while strength makes you indispensable. Some people believe that being nice will protect them, that if they never ruffle feathers, never challenge authority, never speak up for themselves, they will be safe. They believe that if they are always agreeable, always accommodating, they will avoid conflict, that they will be liked by everyone. But this is an illusion. In reality, blind niceness does not protect you, it exposes you. It makes you a target for those who see an easy opportunity, for those who take advantage of those who never push back. It makes you vulnerable to manipulation, to exploitation, to being used as a stepping stone for others' success while you are left behind. The world does not shield those who refuse to stand up for themselves. It rewards those who know their worth and refuse to settle for anything less. Strength is not about being unkind. It is not about being cruel. It is not about disregarding the feelings of others. Strength is about knowing when to give and when to withhold, when to say yes and when to say no, when to walk away and when to fight for what you deserve. It is about setting standards for how you will be treated, about making it clear that your kindness is not to be mistaken for weakness, that your willingness to help does not mean you are willing to be taken for granted. Strength is about commanding respect, about ensuring that your presence is valued, about making it clear that you will not be used, ignored, or dismissed. When you operate from a place of strength, you begin to notice a shift in how people treat you. The ones who once took advantage of your kindness start to back away because they realize they can no longer control you. The ones who once ignored your needs start to take notice because they see that you are no longer willing to tolerate being overlooked. The ones who only valued you for what you could do for them start to disappear because they see that you now expect reciprocity, that you now demand respect. And in their place, new people enter your life, people who respect you, who value you, who see your strength and admire it, rather than seeking to exploit it. Blind niceness often comes with the hope that if you are good to others, they will be good to you in return. But the world does not operate on hope alone. The world operates on action, on strength, on the ability to command your place. While kindness is a valuable trait, it must be paired with discernment, with awareness, with the ability to recognize when it is being taken advantage of. Being nice will not protect you from being mistreated, from being overlooked, from being disregarded. But strength will. Strength ensures that you are treated with the respect you deserve. Strength ensures that you are valued for who you are, not just for what you can give. Strength ensures that you are not used, not manipulated, not discarded when your usefulness runs out. There is power in knowing your worth, in recognizing that you are not obligated to please everyone, in understanding that your time, your energy, your kindness are valuable and should not be given away freely to those who do not appreciate them. There is power in setting boundaries, in saying no without guilt, in standing firm when others try to push you into situations that do not serve you. There is power in refusing to be a doormat, in demanding respect, in making it clear that you are not someone who can be used and discarded at will. There is power in choosing strength over blind niceness, in recognizing that the world does not reward those who give endlessly without expectation, but those who move with confidence, with purpose, with self-respect. Strength is not about being hard. It is not about being closed off. It is not about being unapproachable. Strength is about balance. It is about knowing when to extend kindness and when to hold back. It is about knowing when to be gentle and when to be firm. It is about understanding that your kindness should be earned, that it should be given to those who deserve it, that it should not be poured into people who only take without giving anything in return. Strength is about making sure that your kindness does not come at the expense of your own well-being. The world respects those who respect themselves. When you respect yourself, when you refuse to be a people pleaser, when you prioritize you set a standard for how others should treat you. You make it clear that you are not someone who will be used, who will be manipulated, who will be taken for granted. You make it clear that you are someone to be valued, to be respected, to be taken seriously. You make it clear that your presence is not something to be dismissed, but something to be honored. Blind niceness does not lead to success. It does not command respect. It does not create opportunities. Strength does. Strength ensures that you are seen, that you are valued, that you are treated with the dignity you deserve. Strength ensures that you are not left behind while others use you as a stepping stone for their own gain. Strength ensures that you are not constantly drained, constantly overlooked, constantly giving while receiving nothing in return. Strength is what sets you apart, what makes you indispensable, what ensures that you are treated with the respect and value you deserve. The world does not reward those who give endlessly without expectation, but those who move with confidence, with self-respect, with the understanding that their kindness should never come at the cost of their own well-being. Letting go of those who leave when you stop giving is one of the hardest but most necessary things you will ever do. It is a painful truth that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay, and even more painful to realize that some people are only there for what you can do for them. They do not love you for who you are, they love you for what you provide. The moment you stop giving, the moment you stop meeting their expectations, they vanish. They no longer call, they no longer check in, they no longer care because their interest in you was never about you. It was always about what they could take from you. At first you may feel confused. You may wonder if you did something wrong, if you should have given more, if you should have sacrificed more to keep them around. But this is where the greatest deception lies. The problem was never that you did not give enough. The problem was that they were only there because of what they could gain. The moment the gain was gone, they were too. And that is not love, that is not friendship, that is not loyalty. That is a transaction, and you are not a transaction. You are a human being who deserves relationships built on respect, appreciation, and mutual care. The people who leave when you stop giving were never truly yours. They were never invested in you as a person. They were invested in the benefits that came with being close to you. Perhaps it was financial, perhaps it was emotional, perhaps it was simply the ease of always having someone there to listen to the problems, to support them, to encourage them. But real love, real friendship, real connection is not based on conditions. It is not based on what you can offer. It is based on mutual care, on shared respect, on the willingness to stay even when there is nothing to gain. And when someone walks away the moment you stop giving, they reveal the truth. They were never there for you in the first place. You must learn to recognize these people for who they are. It is easy to be blinded by affection, to believe that just because someone has been in your life for a long time, they are meant to stay forever. But longevity does not equal loyalty. Some people stay for years not because they care, but because they are comfortable, because you make their life easier, because they benefit from your kindness. It is not time that proves loyalty, it is presence during difficulty. The ones who remain when you have nothing left to offer, when you are struggling, when you need support instead of providing it, those are the ones who truly care. And those who disappear, let them go. It will hurt at first. It will sting to see how quickly they move on, how effortlessly they detach, how little they seem to care. It will make you question everything. Was it all a lie? Did they ever really care? Did they ever really value you? And the answer is no, not in the way you deserved. They may have enjoyed your presence, they may have appreciated what you provided, but they did not truly value you. Because they did, they would have stayed. They would not have needed a constant supply of giving to justify their presence in your life. You must accept that letting go is not a loss, but a gain. When you release people who are only there for their own benefit, you create space for those who truly appreciate you. You open the door for people who will stay through all seasons, who will stand by you when you are strong. And when you are weak, who will be there not just for what you can do, but for who you are. Letting go of those who leave when you stop giving is not about bitterness, it is about self-respect. It is about understanding that you are not a source to be drained, that you are not responsible for keeping people in your life by constantly pouring yourself out for them. True relationships are reciprocal. They are built on mutual effort, mutual support, mutual appreciation. There will always be those who take more than they give. They will demand your time, your energy, your resources, yet when you turn to them, they are nowhere to be found. They expect you to always be available, always be giving, always be sacrificing, yet they offer nothing in return. And if you ever dare to ask for something back, if you ever dare to expect the same level of care, they will make you feel guilty. They will call you selfish, ungrateful, difficult. But this is not true. It is not selfish to expect reciprocity. It is not selfish to desire relationships where you are valued. It is not selfish to stop giving when you realize the other person only takes. You must guard your heart against those who see you as a convenience rather than a person. They will act like they care when they need something. They will show up when it is beneficial for them. They will say the right words to keep you hooked. But pay attention to their actions. Pay attention to how they behave when you need them. Pay attention to whether they show up when there is nothing for them to gain. Pay attention to whether they are there when you are struggling, when you are hurting, when you have nothing to offer but your presence. Because those who truly care do not disappear when the benefits run out. The truth is, when you stop giving, you see people for who they really are. You see who stays and who leaves. You see who was truly invested in you and who was only invested in what they could receive. It is a painful lesson, but a necessary one. And it is one that will ultimately lead you to a better, stronger, healthier place. Because once you let go of those who leave, when you stop giving, you make room for those who stay no matter what. You make room for real love, real friendship, real connection. You make room for people who see you, who appreciate you, who value you not just for what you can do, but for who you are. And that is worth everything. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become bitter, resentful, or closed off. It means you recognize your worth. It means you understand that you deserve people in your life who give as much as they take, who support as much as they receive, who stay not because of what you provide, but because they truly value you. It means you refuse to waste your time, your energy, your love on those who only see you as a source to be drained. It means you choose self-respect over blind loyalty, dignity over desperation, worth over the illusion of connection. The people who leave when you stop giving are not a loss. They are a lesson. They teach you the value of your kindness, the importance of reciprocity, the necessity of boundaries. They show you who truly belongs in your life and who was only passing through. They reveal the truth about human nature, that some will take without giving, that some will leave when there is nothing left to gain, that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. And while that truth is painful, it is also liberating, because once you accept it, once you understand it, once you stop holding on to those who are never truly there for you, you find freedom, you find peace. You find the ability to build relationships that are real, that are meaningful, that are based on something far deeper than what you can provide. You are not meant to carry people who only take from you. You are not meant to beg for love, for appreciation, for respect. You are not meant to be in relationships where your value is measured by